Glacier has...
From the swamps of Louisiana, the Cajun Predator.
The day of the hairy freak, or the fat slob, is practically gone.
Let the party begin. I've got snacks.
Look at us. We did it again. Another 7 days around the sun. I think my mic is turned down way too low. Oh, right. Hello, hello, hello. Why am I not blasting through your ears? Either way, this is WCW Deep Cuts Live. My name's Tom Green. You can find my socials down below. Oh, it's because the mic thing is in the middle for some reason. There we go. All right. Now that I've fixed the issues with the tech that I should have before I went live. Again, my name's Tom Green. My socials are down here. Look at those. Look at that. Look at that handle. Look at that handle. Good stuff. Welcome, everyone, as we once again gather, like we do every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, for WCW Deep Cuts Live to watch the forgotten quote-unquote television classics of World Championship Wrestling in the 1990s. Welcome to everybody both watching live on Twitch, and hopefully, if the copyright gods look down upon us favorably, we'll be seeing this on YouTube sometime in the upcoming days and weeks. Welcome to everybody in the chat. I see Fire Pro Spooky. Sean Drox is here. Tom McCartney. GM Spectre. Optimum Vision. Troy Vang. I saw, there he is, Brian Dermody, the man, the myth, the legend. Let's see. Hey, Jonathan Mayer. Hello. I see Troy Vang, if I didn't say your name a moment ago. Stephen J. Neptune Man, our time capsule historian. Brenticus Maximus was here, as is El Gooch. Welcome, everyone. Hey, Westagon. So, as always, glad to have everybody here. In a moment, we'll start watching WCW Worldwide from July of 1997 as I wipe something out of my eye. I'm narrating everything I do tonight. But before we get into it, I just want to remind everyone we're real freaking close. That's the goal we're looking for on Twitch. 1,000 followers. I am 25 followers away from 1,000. When I hit that mark, we will do a Ready to Rumble watch along on Twitch only. So if you're watching this on YouTube or Scramble Vision, get your butt over to Twitch, click the follow button, do it. So anyway, we're here, we're happening. Let's go ahead and get started with our first episode of WCW Saturday Nights from July of 1997. Let's go. So for those of you who were here Sunday night for Off the Grid, where we watched the IWF, this was also shot at Universal Studios. I asked somebody, I believe this is the same sound stage. So just think about that. If you were here for Off the Grid Sunday, this is the same room that they shot that show in. Hey, Assure.com. I'm so happy that you got the antenna set up right. And when the weather's perfect, I can pick up Twitch on mine.
Climbs into the ring with Hollywood Hulk Hogan against the Giant and Lex Luger, the most anticipated tag team match in pro wrestling history.
Wrestling history?
That's what I said.
Do you really think you're going to see Dennis Rodman wrestle?
Well, no.
No, he doesn't know
I certainly
a
hope
padlock
somebody
from a
will
hammerlock.
blade, and it'll probably
But I'll
be
tell you
Bobby
what the guy
Walker.
knows how to do. He knows how to fight 5 guys at one time because he does it every time he goes to work. He knows
I hope Mongo's on here too. I have not
watched.
watched. I have not looked at the match lists. I never look at the match
I don't know that much
lists.
about, but I'll tell you this much: Rodman with Hogan and the NWO will put up a fight.
Beautiful lighting on those lockers behind Tony and Brain. All right, up first we got somebody from the NWOB team.
scheduled to make its appearance here on Worldwide Wrestling. We don't see that very often, but it will be Buff Bagwell.
Oh, Buff Bagwell. This is just months into his NWO run. I know it's like half a year after he joined, but this looks like it was taped like right after. Because as we all know, whoa, buddy. That man is on the floor, on his knees for Buff Bagwell. Yes, this is WWE versus NWO World Tour Bagwell. Good catch, the Inspector. You know it's early Bagwell because he's got the collar. The NWO collar.
More comfortable than that penguin standing there in the ducks.
That's not a penguin, that's David Penzer.
Oh,
here we go. Casey Thompson. Representing all of us guys who have weird necks that kind of just throw up into our heads. Revenge was the shit. I agree with you, Tom McCartney. Great stuff. I'm also with you, GM Spectre. Vicious and Delicious. One of the more underrated tag teams of the 90s. Oh, I thought he was going to too sweet. What's going on with Casey's singlet? I don't know if anybody else saw that in the back. It looked like he like stapled it. Also, he appears to have never been punched in his life.
I don't know how many more years he's got left at what he does, but I'll tell you, he wants to make money.
Like, what's going on with the back of that thing? Like, it looks like he just made like really high-waisted trunks and then put some stitch through like a couple of like random strips of fabric.
As millions and millions of people all over the world, he'd love to be the one along with Hogan.
That is such a weird singlet. It's not even a singlet. It's high-waisted tights with suspenders.
Now, he may not be a wrestler, but the man is an athlete.
That's not nice, Bobby. Casey Thompson was a wrestler. Hey, Judas Effect. I become. And thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate you bringing the stale soda and half-eaten crackers. Glad to see you in the chat.
And there's one for you. Bob Bagwell with the lariat. Exploding on Casey.
Yeah, Valvoline. That's drink it. What? Valvoline did advertise the ring here.
Yeah, she showed me a necklace she had on. It says, "I love my boy." Now there's a proud mother.
Well, I guess it's a tolerant mother, if nothing else.
A tolerant mother.
Oh, he's a star.
Well, yes, he is.
Digs his fingers right in those eyes.
And a member of the New World Order.
And him and Norton are a heck of a team over in Japan.
Yes, they are. And right now, he's having some unkind words for a man who has really turned it around and now a dominant referee again, and that is Nick Patrick.
The jury's still out on Patrick.
There we go, Buff. Look at you. Look at you.
There's a man who's got confidence. He never needed that ham and egger, Scotty Riggs. He never needed the other people.
What does that kid have a joy buzzer in his hand? That was weird.
What a showboater.
I like it.
Yeah, I knew you would. And, you know, I can understand you liking showboaters as a cover one and two.
Yeah, Bagwell's letting Casey Thompson kick out of a lot here.
I made this perfectly clear. I don't mind what the New World Order's thinking is. I understand.
Also, I just noticed Bagwell's wearing his tights over his boots.
New World Order, I have no problem with. I don't like Hogan.
Yeah, Bagwell's one of the few like WCW mid-card guys where like the NWO transformation worked and wasn't just a middle-aged dude living out his biker fantasies.
Bagwell tried a flying elbow drop and missed, and Casey Thompson back up. Thompson sends him to the far side, back elbow.
Tom McCartney is Gaddafi in the New World Order.
Don't waste time showboating, Thompson.
Boy, a little bit of
I'm sure Casey Thompson went home and for years, every year when he coached baseball, showed the kids the time that he almost beat Buff Bagwell.
Everyone heard it all across living rooms, family rooms,
all the rooms. Hey Nathan, welcome.
On top is Bagwell. Here it comes. That was the blockbuster. It caught him. 1, 2, 3.
There we go. Buff Bagwell.
With the win here on
Watching Gaddafi and Hussein do Sweet Hogan. I wouldn't be surprised if
into the ring for the very
part of Hogan's new beer deal.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan at his side.
And what will Rodman be wearing? You know, the rules are a little
Yeah, Bagwell seemed like he was
could show up.
chomping at the bit to turn heel. Like he was sick of being a babyface. He wanted to change everything. That's the difference between him and like Michael Wall Street just being Michael Wall Street wearing a t-shirt.
Worldwide.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline.
That's right, people who know do use Valvoline. Darn tootin'. People who know motor oil that's sold in grocery stores.
It's going to be a handicap match featuring one half of the big main event tag team.
Got handicap match. Oh boy. Always was excited to watch these when I was a kid. Felt special. What was that music they were playing for the Giant?
What strategy do you employ against Dennis Rodman?
Very simple strategy. And I hate to divulge it because
That's the wrong hand thing. That's the claw, buddy. Baron von Raschke not in the building.
You know you can beat Hogan. Hogan knows he can beat you. You've had him up in that rack.
Seriously, what is going on with this music?
Now you sit in this room, you look at this video, and you tell me what you get out of it. And I
Like it sounds like he's coming out to team up with Joe Gomez.
In another room, I say, Giant, there's no way Rodman can get you. He's playing.
I'm so confused.
Now you're not on his.
He's wrestling the team of ECW legend Hack Myers and the Punisher, aka Cuba's Top Gun, aka Fidel Sierra.
Now, gentlemen, tell me what you have to do.
In other words, you just pump them up. You feel
Shaw.
Tell the truth. And that is the truth.
yeah, that's right. Look at that.
The drop kick.
And that's the truth.
Giant's like, yeah, I'll do a drop kick here. Fidel Sierra somehow both these guys. Only Fidel Sierra could be both members of a tag team.
Oh, I thought you meant that guy had a mask. Oh, he's just ugly. That guy's got
Yeah, Fidel Sierra just became like a worldwide enhancement guy for a while because he moved to Florida.
Look at that. The Punisher's not getting up.
And the Punisher, you know, that name that you're allowed to trademark.
Myers will be getting up in a minute.
Oh geez, okay.
Yeah, he got up all right, way up in the air.
Yeah, I was a big fan of when Paul White, like in the WWE run, would grab the middle rope to kip up. Like, I couldn't do it even with the middle rope, so I give him credit.
Who will team with Lex Luger next Sunday in the biggest tag team match ever?
Seriously, what is going on with this music?
Hogan.
I wonder if this match happened and the Giant is like, no, we can't do this.
It'll be your main event.
But then, of course, they still aired it like this.
The big man, the Giant, picks up his opponent.
There we go.
Pins him to the mat. Take a look at this, Rodman.
Whoa.
That could be you. Remember, the big man in there with those big hands is not Rodman. He's the man, the Giant. NWO.
That's the thing, Judas Effect. We're gonna watch a lot of squash matches tonight. 2 hours of squash matches. That's the joy of these
More
streams.
great action on Worldwide, but right now we invite you to listen to this.
Oh, I'm invited to listen to a promo? Oh, thank you, Tony.
WCW presents.
Oh, it's not even a promo. It's a pay-per-view recap.
At 7 p.m.
Bummer.
Eastern, only on pay-per-view. Call your local cable or satellite company now for availability.
For availability. What if they're like, yeah, I'm sorry, too many people order the pay-per-view. We can't send it to you. Nope, can't do it.
For the
There's
US
Mongo.
Heavyweight title, Steve McMichael with Queen Deborah versus former partner Jeff Jarrett. Wrath and Mortis with James Vandenberg.
Aw, they didn't get a video.
Glacier
That's
and
sad.
Curtis Miller in a career match. Kevin Sullivan with Jacqueline versus Chris.
Hey, no mercy.
But you left me to the wolves.
Yeah, I heard the thing, the alert didn't go out tonight. I'm pissed.
Looks like the troops are amassing perhaps around the nature boy Ric Flair.
This is what I was
Here's the thing, I've had a
talking
few
about
people,
you
because I posted that Mongo short, on YouTube the other day, and I've had a few people be like, why would they let Mongo do a tombstone pile driver? He's a big freaking strong dude. I mean, he's still a big dude. Like Eddie Guerrero, I remember it's one of the coolest finishes I've ever seen. He trusted Mongo to catch him upside down in a moonsault and drive him straight down, and it was completely safe.
Stop with it.
Oh my goodness! You knew this would happen.
Why did it look like Flair stomped Mongo?
Roddy Piper has taken on the Horsemen.
Hey, B. Clark for Dark, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate you bringing the flat soda, the steel crackers. Relax, hang out. Hell yeah, that's so cool. Thank you for making this account just to watch live. Appreciate you.
July 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Only on
Hey, is it Ara Gallows? Not Luke Gallows. I think he's working tonight. Thank you so much for the follow. A lot of follows. Loving this. Inching closer to 1,000. You all rule. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mongo is going into the Football Hall of Fame.
Now we're going to take you to WCW Monday
We
Nitro.
are 23, 22 away from 1,000. We're getting close.
Surprises. You can ask Kimberly come Christmas time since I was a little kid till right now.
I love how he was like, I'm full of surprises. Ask Kimberly. Expected like a sex pun. And he's like, no, I'm really good at giving gifts at Christmas.
After I blow out them candles, I rip through those presents again. Because I love surprises.
I love
Got the
Christmas.
bags at the beach, Hall, and Savage. I got a surprise for you. I can't wait to
Randy
see
Savage,
you.
I love Christmas.
You are my friend. I will stand by your side. And the decision.
How many people have gotten this
that I made
speech
at
from Ric Flair in a bar
Slamboree
before?
to change
I am your
this on the
friend.
door was in
I love you.
your best interest,
Could you cover my
my
tab?
best interest, and in the best interest of that tag match, pal.
Now, DDP and Ultraman Black would be wild.
But you left me to the wolves. But I'm not dissing you. Millions
That's right,
of other
Roddy's not
people don't
dissing
believe
you.
ya. I believe
Roddy
you.
with the kids lingo.
Piper, you've been around way too long. Judging by the
Please
size
don't
of
get
your
rid of him,
spine,
Chris.
By the backbone that you show, you must have one severe.
That's right, Paul Lee did pay for the Nature Boy deal. Oh, Bank 112489. Thank you so much for the follow. We are climbing tonight. Benoit will slap the taste out of your mouth, no cap. Dude, Roddy, if he were around today, would be so obnoxious with the lingo. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You know Roddy would use woke as a diss in a promo.
And Flair is now going to join in again. Oh my!
Hey, there's Sting.
Sting is here. He's in the stand. He's got the back.
He's telling the guy next to him, look in the ring.
Savage dead in his tracks.
No, he didn't. He's going to do the move.
Hall pointing. Savage looking. Sting standing in the
And I just dropped my bottle
But he's too far away. He can't make it the
of
same
water.
Savage is almost hypnotized.
God, he would use trigger warning.
Savage is standing on that top turnbuckle.
Oh, Roddy. I love Roddy, but yeah.
Across the building.
Sting has this effect on the NWO, stopping the NWO.
Roddy would tell his opponents he would kick their gat. Shout out HTO. That's the only thing that keeps me going half the time.
Sting is making his way to the ring.
Sting to the ring, fighting his way through the crowd. And Savage
It'd be funny if he did fight his way through the crowd, just hitting fans with the baseball bat.
That's the question.
He'll do.
You're not kidding, he'll do. He's coming in the
Oh,
ring now.
okay, he got over. I thought he was gonna nut himself.
The single
Oh my god, look at all that trash. Imagine how filthy all the baby faces were after they get beat up by the NWO with all the fans throwing the trash in the ring. Like how sticky he must be from like the soda. Roddy would call himself a Sigma.
There's a man nobody wants to
Oh
lose.
gosh. Gen Z Roddy Piper. I'm glad this came up tonight.
Sting with the bat, just trying to get him out of the ring.
God.
Diamond Dallas Page is
And all of those wasted concessions in the ring right now still cost less combined than one hot dog in an arena these days. Up here we go. This reminds me that that Morishima dark match, the dark matches that went up today. In like 2009, he comes out to the Orient Express song. God, he identifies the guy who's about to kick your ass. That would be a Piper, man. Here we go. Yuji Nagata. They've done a good job, No Mercy. Oh, Yuji. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Nagata. They've done a good job of getting fans to stop throwing shit in the ring. They put up, like, legal disclaimers now before shows. Blue Justice. Yeah, Yuji's still going to this day, man. He's facing Mexico. Oh, it's Super Calo. You couldn't spend the 10 seconds typing his name over, even over the flag. Just put up the flag. That's so shitty.
From Mexico, great cruiserweight and Super Calo, and here we go on WCW Worldwide Wrestling.
Yeah, Super Calo is very comfy here. Super Calo would be a fun one to dress up like for Halloween. That's Super Calo and Yuji Nagata, a match that would only happen at Universal Studios. Also, it is early in Yuji Nagata because he's still wearing the pants. Very early in the excursion. And Yuji Nagata doing lucha? Amazing.
hat never comes off, Tony. Calo? No.
It's so charming that all of the old head announcers loved Calo because of his mask. Because of the hat thing.
Great amount of quickness. And look at Calo, would you picks him up.
Like, I don't know when the Yuji Nagata retirement tour is going to be, but when it is, I hope him and Calo wrestle. That was cool.
I mean, they'll sacrifice. They'll work on this
Little double hop drop kick.
That's a very valid point, Brandon. Cover 1, 2, and you got to realize about how different they are.
Well, they were the only people that had kamikaze pilots.
Oh gosh.
They are compared to the other athletes.
Oh, Bobby.
In the United States, but like in Mexico and Calo, using the high-risk maneuvers.
What if the Valvoline ring posts, like, were actually covered in oil? Hey, Cecil, welcome. Yeah, Super Calo did a lot of stupid things with his body. But yeah, doing a missile drop kick to the floor. It's insane. Hey, Scuffle and Hillbilly. Yeah, this, I would have loved this when I was 14. I still would have loved this at age 36. But there's just such a weird match. You say fuck? Fuck you, Mark Curtis.
Speak the language and know the rules, so you gotta let him go a bit.
Diplomatic community. Yes. Well, that's a good one. Through the legs. Calo, duck low. Up.
Oh, that was slick. Oh, rolling kick. Calo, I think he, yeah, I think I've seen him on flyers this year. Also, what is up with that pin? I love Mark Curtis, but I feel like if you have to go outside the ring to count, it's probably an illegal pin. Like, Calo's head was under the plane of the bottom rope. Oh, I think we just lost audio. Hopefully not. There we go, we got it back. Oh, hell yeah, I'm beating Vince Russo. That's right, Russo does stream now on Tuesdays. Kick that! Look who really killed WCW. Here we go. Got Mortis.
Well, it's almost over. You better hurry up and make a decision here.
I can have further.
Yeah, we do have to give Mark Curtis credit for counting on the hardest part of the ring. That's right. I'm beating Sabu, too. Oh, and Effie. Doing great.
I'm talking about Mortis. Obviously, you know he's not.
Oh, he's 100%. Look at him.
I'm talking about Vandenberg.
Oh, he's got a twisted mind.
I can't take credit. It's all Mortis.
Really?
Or Peter Lorre. I can just see his house. There's probably no lights. Just big porches in Canada.
Yeah, Sabu streams like interviews. The only reason I know that is because like he got canceled for the 18th time for having Marty Scurll on his stream recently.
You are such.
Oh god, James Mitchell doing coke on that NWA show. Oh boy.
Oh, look at those eyes.
If they are eyes.
What do you see?
That's a good point.
Look like two burn holes in the snow. I understand he's had some horrible damage to his face. A burning.
Oh, so now
He's straight edge. I said the cult of personality lyric, and then he throws up the X. Oh, Buddy Lee Parker is the opponent in his Cadet Kelly gear.
In the next matchup, no denying the ability.
This was before Kane, yes. And Mortis and Wrath's gang unfortunately never got a name. They were the closest they got, I think, was James Vandenberg would call them his collection of oddities.
Most notably is the real skill and expertise Glacier uses in his martial arts.
It's all good. That nice Christian boy pointing at God every week on ECW TV. Sabu.
I mean, this man,
Or Muslim,
was
even.
trained to compete. This man was trained to survive and stay alive. There's a difference there.
Would you look
It's the military against the spooky arts.
We are seeing Mortis.
Some people don't like those oddities. I get it. I get it.
I'm so impressed with this man, Mortis. And the guy he runs with, Wrath.
Vandenberg's another guy who
Show you this man, the size of the man.
didn't get the hint soon enough that his hair was leaving.
Masterminding everything. Parker's a tough customer, though.
I've said it before, I'm a big fan of the point in the 90s when Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker decided to switch the character from being a police sergeant to an army sergeant.
Parker shouldn't wash his dark clothes with his light clothes, though.
Those are fatigues. And Vandenberg.
What was that? He just kind of grabbed his ankle for a second. Didn't even distract him. Oh, here's the Buddy Lee weird top rope knee drop.
Dropping the knee, 1, 2. He almost got away to go try it again.
Oh, look at this. I like this. He keeps going back for the win.
If you kick out one, it's one of those cardio drills that he does at the power plant. He just pins you like 1,000 times and then you throw up everywhere.
He's got to take him out now.
Oh my goodness, what agility exhibited that time by Mortis.
He'll never recover from this. That got him flush in the mush.
Flush in the mush. That should have been a WCW pay-per-view.
Still to come, the Steiners and Public Enemy in our main event.
Bash at the beach. Flush in the mush.
And Glacier will be here too.
In just a few moments.
I remember they called Mortis a pit fighter when he first came in.
Mortis picks him up. Belly to back suplex.
Pit fighting is one of my favorite 90s things. Like every slob in his gym shorts that came to the UFC in that era was a pit fighter. Nobody could ever explain what pit fighting was.
Drop and superplex here.
Up we go.
Wow.
Crash in the gash. That's naughty, Nathan. But I think somebody probably does that on OnlyFans. Mortis wins with the first flatliner. When I was a kid, I didn't understand the flatliner thing, and I thought this meant that he was like, I'm gonna go on the top of the mountain. I'm gonna bring you down. Because I was stupid. I was a stupid child. That was very funny. Starrcade '97 when all the WCW guys rushed to the ring to celebrate with Sting, and there's Mortis in his street gear and that mask.
He's talking about.
That's Dennis Miller.
Here we go. Stop.
Up goes Parker. Down goes Buddy Lee. The flatliner. Mortis has him where he wants him. Second floor.
Oh, couldn't quite get the grip to get to the second
The
rope.
winner. For a 1-2-3 count. Vandenberg's pride and joy. Mortis.
Coming up next, Glacier.
Vandenberg's Pride Joy?
Listen to this.
WCW presents Bash at the Beach, Sunday, July 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern.
WCW
Only on
presents
pay-per-view.
Bash in Your Gash.
He's up. He's showing the diamond cutter. And Savage did not waste any time. He backdrop superplex.
Yeah, masked men wearing regular clothes is always
Oh
fun.
my! It's Sting in the
Luchadors in suits, great.
He's in the stands. He's got the bat.
Bash in the
Temporarily,
ass.
Savage comes out. Sting to the ring, fighting his way through the crowd. And Savage again. Is this the mystery partner? The single most dominant force in our
Yeah,
sport.
Kane in the tracksuit walking in to Raw, like sipping his coffee or whatever it was, that one Raw in like '98. It was so good.
The NWO, Scott Hall and Macho Man Randy Savage with Elizabeth.
I'd love a mystery partner tag where it wasn't
We'll have a
that
mystery partner.
they didn't announce somebody. It's just they forgot who it was. Like the guy comes out of it's like Anvil from Arrested Development. Like who is that?
And out of every low point in your life, there's not much of a lower point than to be spray painted and knocked unconscious in front of millions of viewers. I use it as incentive
Lex Luger says that like that happens to everybody.
for revenge, and revenge will be sweet. I am the only one. that's
God, that
gonna
Luger
stick
shirt. I was just
a
thinking about that today. I forget even why.
in the world.
Hollywood, Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman battle the Giant and Lex Luger. Satellite dish owners
The
call
Games?
1-800-843-9266. Dish Network subscribers.
I have not
call
been spray painted.
1-800-333-DISH. Direct
I've,
TV. Call 1-800-347-3288.
been drawn on with marker.
It's the Bash at the Beach, Sunday, July
Yes, the
13th
Giant
at 7
and the
p.m.
roar.
On pay-per-view. Call your local cable or satellite company now for availability.
For emotional availability. Oh, Glacier! Blood is really running cold tonight, folks. Good evening, Mr. Wrestling 3. Just in time to watch this sweet-ass laser light show.
Saw Mortis moments ago. We do understand there have been a few problems in the locker room area as security has now made sure that Mortis and Vandenberg are secure.
Bless Tony Schiavone's heart for trying to make sense. Trying to like bring some logic to things. Like, oh, these two guys are going back and forth, back to back rather, but they're feuding. So we have to say, hey, security's separating them. All right, this day in sports from Stephen J. Neptune Man, July 6, 97. The Mets defeated the Florida Marlins 3-2. The Toronto Blue Jays beat the New York Yankees 2-0. And the #1 song in America, of course, the notorious B.I.G. tributes by Puff Daddy featuring Faith Evans and 112 or is 112, whatever it may be. I'll be missing you. Thank you so much, Stephen J. Neptune Man, as always, for the factoids. Ahoy, ahoy! Welcome, Refs as Wizards.
And he can feel himself.
Casa de Frosty Balls. Luger was the #1 non-Sting face at this point, and I would argue there's a point in the summer where he overtakes Sting,
1 week before Bash at the Beach.
and then he loses to Hogan the week after he wins the belt. Just kind of.
Well, you know what he always says, bad as I want to be, so you'll get a chance to prove it.
Maybe he should have been out uncensored.
Oh yeah, I totally thought Glacier was a Mortal Kombat guy when I was a kid.
At the very end, you remember? Luger will never forget that.
I was a big fan of how like Glacier's song was timed to end right at the end of his entrance. No need for a fade out.
Fans do not forget that
Johnny Swinger, the swing man,
the event is next Sunday. It is only
wearing
will originate from
the dollar store British beefcake tights, where instead of like showing off the leg it's painted over.
First time ever in the wrestling ring, wrestling with Hollywood Hulk Hogan as his partner.
Whoa!
Sunday and only on pay-per-view.
He knows what the finish is. Why didn't you just hit him with the kick again?
At the beach.
Use your brain.
Johnny Swinger using a little
The
karate of his own here.
asbestos. Hey, that asbestos shit is dangerous. My dad died from that shit.
Yeah, but he's feeling pretty good about
Not to
himself.
bring everybody down, make them sad. He had asbestos in his lungs when he died.
Now holding the watch out. Crowd and kick. You can see this.
Oh, there we go. Match over. Yeah, Johnny Swinger having a run, like being the guy out of this whole crew to have like a run now. And leaning into the fact that he's an old weirdo. Good stuff. I'd love to see Johnny Swinger on NXT. I feel like Johnny Swinger is actually kind of custom made for NXT. Hey, Crandamaniac, I do remember that. That's amazing that you... remember when Glacier was helping Norman Smiley? He came out one time and was high-fiving the fans. He grabbed this old lady sitting next to us and had my brother take their picture together. We didn't know this lady. That's amazing. I will try to find that clip because I'm going to do a short about that soon. Yeah, Glacier's Chikara appearances were fun. I've always heard, like, when Glacier works indie shows, he's the nicest, sweetest dude who's down for everything. Like, I always loved when Chikara would bring him in, and they had the big, like, ceiling fans or whatever at the ECW arena, and they would throw instant mashed potatoes into it.
WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by M&M.
That would be amazing, Cecil. Johnny Swinger just takes over the Adam Rose thing, but he's like, what is happening?
It's main event time on Worldwide Wrestling. We're gonna see.
I don't think Glacier did legit MMA. Like, he's legit a karate guy.
Be considered again as top contenders for the World Tag Team Championship, and they will face two men who are the #1 contenders for the World Tag.
There we go, Public Enemy.
Public Enemy. Some would venture to say one of their most important matches in World Championship Wrestling.
I would say they're most important, and I'll tell you why. If they were champions, it'd be easier.
Always love it. Public Enemy
They could set the pace.
was a blast just because of the fans they got to dance like that.
Sometimes it's harder to beat.
Wait, that's a Super Calo again. When I was a kid, I would like
They've got to really fight
do the
hard.
little kid version of fantasy booking. And there are two things I remember. One of which is that I thought that I invented the British round system. And I had Regal doing British rounds matches. I had never heard of World of Sport, but I just had him doing it. But also, I booked Super Calo and Public Enemy as a trio. I thought it made sense. Oh, hell yeah! Future Juggalettes.
With what?
Nap,
Take a nap.
take a nap, yeah. Yeah, you got it.
There we go. Steiner Brothers against the Public Enemy.
Here are two guys
You know, I wonder if Public Enemy were like super pissy that they didn't get to, like, they were gone by the time
Which is the bright one?
the No Limit Soldiers came around. Like, Johnny Grunge is like, if you're gonna use Chase Tatum, I'm right here.
You got two dogs in the yard, one smarter than the other. You got three
That's
kids, one
amazing.
smarter than the other.
I'm gonna read Cecil's story here. I once overheard a fan tell his friends that Evil Uno was just me in a mask. I told him I didn't think that was true, and he argued with me while Uno was in the ring right in front of us. Fantastic. I love wrestling fans.
Maybe there isn't one. Maybe it's a tie.
Let me say this. It doesn't
Hey,
matter
wait,
what's in the
welcome.
match.
And Mr. Wrestling 3, I agree with you. Big Craig Pittman fan. That's right, this is a rematch of the Starrcade 90 Pat O'Connor tournament. Minus Johnny Grunge. When old Ted Petty was Colonel de Klerk from South Africa. These are the sexy, sleek Steiners of the late 90s. With their singlets have a bit more like a leather look.
They're a very, very, very good
Johnny
team.
Grunge and Johnny Swinger should have a
They know what
genre
every man's gonna
off.
be, and they're so powerful. And they've taken beatings and beatings in this sport. They're a very hard team to beat. They've been wrestling all their lives together.
Apartheid Dunkets. That was Phil Apollo, wasn't it? It was his partner.
And they're from
Didn't even put two and two together. Apartheid Doink is a great name.
Oh, nothing. But it's so cold there, it numbs your brain for 8 months of the year. So you see, they're really only about 7 years old.
This version of Scott Steiner looks like in WCW NWO Revenge, where like they have the alternate outfits, and like you could give somebody like their old hair and gear from like 10 years earlier, but it's still kind of, it just looks like a weird mishmash of them and their current thing. It looks like Big Papa Pump, like you just like rip the goatee off and put the hair on.
I bet their neighbors are prouder than heck, huh?
You think anyone like was mad at Rick Steiner ever like smeared a booger on the bottom rope?
There should be a leash law for the Steiners.
See, that's amazing. That's also amazing. My favorite fan theory that I've heard was very early internet, for me at least, in like late 99, 2000. I was on, forget what message board, but somebody asked how Tajiri did the kicks, and one of the replies was that the strands that come off his waistband, whatever those things are, with a belt or whatever, the person said they had pop rocks in them. So when he would kick, the pop rocks would explode on the side of his leg.
I would get him in the Boston Crab right now. It's so hard to hold Steiners in anything. They're so powerful. His back is hurt.
It might have been TPWW. Might have been.
One on the leash.
I think growing up in Indiana, I think half the moms of the kids I grew up with look like Johnny Grunge.
Johnny Grunge is a great tag team work here by Public Enemy.
See, I think the person meant like the things you throw on the ground.
Very focused.
But aren't pop rocks those things that like you put in your mouth, like the candy that kind of like pops in your mouth, and like if you drink it with Coke, allegedly you explode and die?
He may have a little trouble with his sacroiliac there.
Are you eating the things you throw on the ground, Nathan? Are you eating fireworks?
Oh, look at this.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh! I'm sorry for blowing in everyone's ears.
Him head first.
Oh.
Matt, exchange on either side.
Oh
You
shit.
can't hurt these guys.
We're over here talking about pop rocks, and Rocco Rock just broke his neck.
Speed up in a great defensive maneuver by Johnny Grunge, hitting the man.
Johnny Grunge. How is Rocco Rock standing?
To the face. Running lariat. Rick Steiner makes a cover, hooks a ball.
Oh hey, look, it's his underwear.
Only a two.
In case anybody was wanting a Johnny Grunge panty
And
shot.
Rocco Rock and Scott Steiner now on the outside.
A disc pops in Rocco Rock's
Not breaking his
neck.
back that much anymore.
They found the one guardrail in the building.
Where's he going?
They're going into the stands.
They're going in the stands.
Will you just go through someone's purse?
For the first time ever.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened more in like hardcore matches. Like the wrestlers just going through the fans' shit and taking whatever they want.
Well, this is WCW.
Sure is.
You can take us anywhere.
I love the one guy in the football jersey in the back, like, I could take these guys.
Rick Steiner kicks Grunge. Forearm shot. They've gone back down now near the safety rail. A 1 count on the inside.
These tourists are very into the crowd brawling. Imagine ECW
Sure.
at Universal Studios.
If they were the legal men, it would be much different. Kick to the sternum, swinging at neckbreaker. Johnny Grunge, and look at this. He is on the lap of a fan.
The fan push.
Uh-oh, it's table time.
That's the fastest I've ever seen a table get in the ring.
Try to put Rick Steiner on the table.
Does Rocco Rock have like superhuman strength?
Show me the money.
Normally you see people like really struggle with it. He's flung that thing over his head.
Johnny Grunge stunned Rick Steiner. With
That's as impressive as anything I've seen tonight.
The temple there, and Steiner trying to get back up. Scott Steiner and Rocco Rock.
Oh.
Rick Steiner moved.
He kind of moved. I've never seen somebody still sitting on the table when they're supposed to move. Like, he looks like he just had like a fun joyride. Like, whee! That was fun. I had fun watching that. And Scott, Michigan University. Remember that one Nitro, like in the Big Papa Pump era? Might have been the one where Steiner. Oh fuck, they replayed it. Where it was the one where Scott came out and talked crap off the script about Ric Flair, and they just played this song randomly. What's your finish? You put me on a table, and when you jump, I just kind of get up. Stop, Michigan University. I love that their song just lays out the lore of the Steiners. Yeah, the replay was of a better angle, thankfully.
That's right, there'll be a tag team action from south of the border. Will be with us as well.
And another gentleman from down south, close to the border, Rey Mysterio Jr. will be here.
That's all next week. And for Bobby the Brain Heenan, I'm Tony Schiavone. See you next week.
Alright, we're just gonna jump right into the next episode. We got 3 episodes tonight. This is 2 of 3. There's that Universal Studios deal, which I found out on Sunday and Off the Grid is in the parking lot of Universal Studios. How did production bullet finish on the tape show? We're watching WCW, Nathan. That's how. That would be amazing, B. Clark. What if every wrestler entrance song just laid out the lore of the character? His name's Bray Wyatt, and he had a bad childhood.
Time ever wrestling match with world champ Hollywood Hulk Hogan as his partner, plus Ric Flair against Roddy Piper.
I love that Heenan's acting. This is the first time he's heard any of this. He sits at the booth 3 hours a week on Nitro.
Somebody big, I bet. And what about Dennis Rodman? First time ever, he and Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
I was a big fan of Shivani's pompadour mullet thing he's got going on. He needs to grow it back.
Don't forget, this guy plays 80-some games underneath a backboard with guys 7 feet tall, well over 300 pounds. So he's one tough man. And Hogan will be high.
Your lore song Cecil would. The chorus would be about doors. Maybe like a Jim Morrison sounding guy singing it. Is that like a bootleg Raven Church? Mr. Wrestling 3, I'm thinking about this week's off the Grid. Wasn't that right about when Black Chicken Kindle had just disappeared for about 25 months? Yep. Yeah, that was right after they reappeared in the world. Oh shit, Casey Thompson had another shitty singlet. That one looks a little more normal. The one he wore last week just looked like he stapled it. This one kind of is all attached. But it still doesn't look good. He looks like a case of Polaroids.
The loser may step out of these earth. That's true. U.S. title, Mongo and Jeff Jarrett. And then who will be the mystery partner for Diamond Dallas? We're going to see later on when we show you footage from WCW Monday Nitro that...
It's still a weird singlet. Not as weird. The one in this first episode was just bizarre.
I don't know what's going through Dallas's mind. Maybe those two aren't the real ones. Maybe this is a ploy on Dallas's part.
Well, that's a great point.
I'm not going to believe who it is till I see who it is. No one tells you anything.
Somebody must have really liked Casey Thompson.
Into the midsection, into the ropes, and a drop kick.
Terry Taylor's like, I see something in this Casey Thompson kid. We're gonna put him out every 45 minutes at these tapings.
Really not only backstabbed his friends, but seemingly is turning his back on his relatives as well.
Dean Malenko had 1,000 holds, and he still goes to a chin lock during a squash match. Was he begging? Please don't hurt me, Mr. Malenko. Please don't.
I found out, his whole family's a bunch of parasites, and his old man never
leech off him. I think he just had enough with the family. He realizes now the only way to make money is support these leeches. If you better do something big.
Yeah, Casey Thompson is a good enhancement talent. He looks like a baseball coach, like a 6th grade baseball coach. And that's really the most important part. That is kind of what that singlet looks like. Good call, Fire Pro Spooky. Looks like the trainer from the ECW games. Yes.
That's not a nice thing to do. It really isn't. But I'm a broadcaster.
Dean Malenko was like, no comeback for you.
I know. Head first. I'm talking about you relaying gossip. It's not a nice thing.
Scott no Billy. Terry Taylor in the back, all happy to tell Leroy Howard that he's bumped off the card for Casey Thompson.
World's toughest lifesaver. Pick up. And a scoop slam. Malenko setting himself.
Oh, he's setting him up for the spear. No, that was weird.
Extra added leverage and force, momentum behind that one. Malenko into an abdominal stretch. Look how he pushes down that spine. That's where the pain is right there.
I think Dean was a good guy at this time, but he's getting the heat on this guy.
His name is Casey Thompson, and he's trying to battle out, but Malenko is all over him.
That'd be a great catchphrase. My name is Casey Thompson, and I'm trying to battle out.
We've been seeing now is the one that he's known all along. Maybe he's right. I've known Hogan all along. No one believed me. Am I right, Tony? You were right.
Casey
There.
Thompson's
Still don't believe
pride
any other
singlet.
member. Here's a pickup. You're a heck of an announcer, Tony.
With Casey Thompson, love is love.
You mean you believe me?
Here we
I
go.
see what you're doing. Texas Cloverleaf is on. So much for the lifesaver, man.
There we go.
Casey Thompson over.
Casey Thompson's lore theme. His name is Casey, and he battles out.
And Dean Malenko, the United States, former United States champion, is your winner on Worldwide.
Is that Danny Bonaducci in the crowd with the mustache?
Plus a whole lot more. We'll be back from Universal Studios in Florida. Right, Brain?
Lifesavers, man.
This portion of WCW Worldwide.
Back before we had the DVD menu screen, hoping it would go in the corner, I was always looking at home to see if these circles would overlap.
We are back on Worldwide.
Got some more Super Calo? We could only be so lucky.
Remember 1 year ago, Brain, what happened at Bash of the Beach?
Ooh, we got some more Fidel Sierra. Yes, Super Calo for the second week.
Made you
Terry Taylor's 2 favorites, Casey Thompson and Super Calo.
tell the truth for a change. About
What name does Fidel Sierra have this week?
more than one thing. But Hogan,
He doesn't get a name. Poor guy. Last week he was the Punisher.
the shut-in, no good man.
There's absolutely an episode of WCW Pro where he wears this gear and they still call him Fidel Sierra. This week he is the pervert. Pervert of the week, Fidel Sierra.
13th of July. Call your local cable operator right now and be a part of this
Oh,
super
okay,
spectacular
good.
event. Rodman and Hogan together. Tag team match, Flair and Piper and much more. Who will be DDP's mystery partner? You can only find out by
Did Sierra
joining us
get
Sunday
the mask because he figured everybody in WCW was so racist that if he got a mask they would think he was a luchador and book him more?
DDP. Now, the man has never asked for help from anyone. The man's never asked for anybody to be his friend. He's handled all his own battles. But now he has selected a partner. I have no idea who.
Here we go. I'm doing a dive on that stage.
To the top,
Oh,
boy, Super Calo.
the Cuban Predator. We need to have predators from every country, every region come together, kind of like the Sovereign Nation Olympics from that Mr. Show sketch.
Appearance would not talk to Mike today, but we know Raven would. Well, it's another
Could you
story.
imagine all the weird spandex in Fidel Sierra's home?
Many fans know him. Not only this country, overseas, Japan and Europe. And also the appearance of Kurt Hennig.
There's drawers of weird pervert
I
costumes.
would say 1997, and we're halfway through. That was the biggest surprise to date. You know, and I know the whole Hennig family, and I've managed.
Hey, if Terry Taylor wasn't going to use them, I'm going to out them. Like that Gabe Sapolsky shoot. Gabe's Book of Secrets.
Well, you have other people's money. No, I don't have other people's money. A lot of people want to know.
He grabbed him by the hat.
It's not important. But anyway,
If you grab Super Calo by the hat, is that illegal?
You think I'd know if it was Kurt Hennig, and they kept it from me.
Yeah, this is the point where Calo was new enough that he could still get a squash match and be the guy that was squashing. Give it a few more months and he would be in the Fidel Sierra role.
We had talked so much about an impact player. Kurt Hennig's an impact player. Raven's an impact player. No doubt about that, but that just may be some kind of ploy to make
the front flip senton that every backyarder did.
There's only one way you can find out, fans. This Sunday, give us a phone call. Cable operator, mini dish, satellite dish, join us.
What was that? I'm gonna bump on my forehead for that thing.
Calo with a seated drop kick on the Punisher, and Calo makes a lateral press.
Okay, he's the Punisher this week. Hey, La Bamba Dudbaka. Yeah, that was a fun Nitro.
Calo's outweighed about, I would say, 50 pounds.
Close to the peak of WCW, in my opinion.
Look at this, great maneuver. Belly to belly, suplex over the top. And Mickey J with a 2 count. Hat never comes off Calo.
Bobby Heenan always impressed by the hat.
Boy, it's amazing. See where he's going.
What would Fidel Sierra do off the ropes? Absolutely nothing. That's the most gentle crotching I've ever seen. Here we go. Oh. Okay. That ended up being way safer than it looked at first. Yes. Shout out Nathan Beebs. The tip of the cap of the Heat week goes to Super Calo.
Big guy, look at the size of the shoulders on him. Brings him in, very hard man to maneuver around.
I do remember those old backyard wrestling VHS tapes. Oh, okay.
Put him down. 1, 2, 3.
Punisher nearly had a Cuban Missile Crisis. Look at that bootleg Sting shirt that guy was wearing. It was a white shirt with the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, but not like the shape of the head. That was kind of neat. The Bears. That guy was there for Mongo. That might have been Mongo's friend. That guy might have been on the 85 Bears.
Thank you very much. Calo, look at the agility.
Oh, okay.
Drop kicks the Punisher.
See, I didn't see that he had his hand on the rope.
Comes diving from
It just looked like he was gonna eat shit.
And down a couple set of steps. The man has no regard for pain, injury, or hurting his body. But now he goes for the
Every show needs more Mongo, Commodore Amigo. Every show.
Super Calo. He is your winner. Still to come. We'll take you back to Nitro and Glacier and Sergeant Craig Pittman in our main event matchup.
All right, Scuffle and Hillbilly, have fun. Hopefully see you next week. Have a good night, bud.
July 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Only on pay-per-view.
I just happen to have a contract right here. You two Einsteiners want to...
I just happen to have a contract right here. It's not for a wrestling match. It's a letter of intent to work at an insurance company.
Signed a document that makes it official. First opportunity, of course, the Steiners to get a shot at you.
Hey, Gene, you want to take a look at this contract? These two brain surgeons,
Oh my!
they have signed for a tag
You've got to be
match.
kidding me!
But before you get to the Wolf Pack, you got to go through Masahiro Chono
And the Great Buddha.
the Great Muda.
What kind of a scam is this?
What kind of a scam is this? DraftKings, that's what it is. I feel like every month for like 2 years, the Steiners would beat the Outsteiners in tag title matches, and then the next night have to give the belts back.
How about that? Great move off the top, that spinning round kick. And Rage makes a comeback and pulls off the upset. Glacier!
It's always funny when like they do the interference thing to set up the pay-per-view match, but then the team that won doesn't get to be on the pay-per-view.
Wrath and Mortis with James Vandenberg versus the team of Glacier and Ernest.
I love that they have Wrath and Mortis and Glacier and Ernest.
Former partner Jeff Jarrett in a career match.
Ernest goes to karate?
Satellite dish owners call Turner Premier at 1-800-843-9266.
Yeah, that was pretty much WCW's graphic scheme for almost up until the Russo era. It was just text.
It's the Bash at the Beach Sunday, July
It's the
13th
Bash at the
7 p.m.
Beach.
Only on pay-per-view. Call your local cable or satellite company now for availability.
that we couldn't hold at an actual beach, or half the roster would not show up, because they'd be passed out drunk. Batch at the beach. It's eggs.
Recently, fans, WCW Monday Nitro originated from the MGM Grand Garden.
Recently, we shot off some fireworks at an arena in Iowa.
As we take you to the footage. Horsemen, here comes the master of the leg lock himself, Ric
The master of the leg lock.
And remember, it was
Yeah, I'm a fan of those two, Refs as Wizards. The really
almost a point
overproduced vocals. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
And that was just the direction enough that Jarrett needed to get him down behind, hit the back of the knee, crashing.
God bless Jeff Jarrett. We're sitting here in 2024, and he's the most relevant of anybody on these shows.
How about that?
Look at that look on Flair's face.
Jeff Jarrett not the master of the leg lock, or is he?
And Flair helping Jarrett. Look at this.
Well, how about that? I think we have one of our questions finally answered.
I think we do.
Everything's fine in Horseman land.
Everything is fine.
Leverage, yeah, because that's how that hold works. Just hold hands with your friend and it hurts more.
Jarrett is still the United States champion.
Free woo forever. That's right, B. Clark. Yeah, Jeff Jarrett was working everybody. He can make you hate him, and then you love him when he wants you to.
The only true icon in WCW. 13-time.
Everybody in this ring looks like they're dressed for a different occasion.
He knows that I can style and profile.
Yeah, bless Rey Mysterio for being the guy that back then everybody's like, he's gonna end up in a wheelchair when he's 30. And he's still doing the same stuff in 2024. He's wrestling his adult son on Monday Night Raw.
You're a player, but as of right now, you are no longer a horseman.
Oh my.
You're not a player, you just crush a lot.
Understand that.
Wait a minute. Rick, you've never been able to tell me what I can and can't be. What I'm telling
That's right,
you,
Rick, you can't tell
If
him.
you don't believe me, ask the crippler. If you don't believe him, ask the big
Hey,
man.
Aspen, yep, Jeff Jarrett, main eventing Dynamite tomorrow as the referee. One of the hottest things in wrestling are his promos lately.
Members of WCW lured out by members of the NWO just to get the double, triple team even more now. As you can see, Buff Bagwell is out. There is no way as
Yeah, that's a good point, Labamba. Jericho is like kind of a bigger, like a more microscoped view. Kind of how people thought about old Double J and TNA in the mid-2000s.
And they have attempted now here, live on Nitro, to take Luger and the Giant down, which they've done.
DDP with his leather pants that he brought back in his one AEW match.
And the Macho Man, Randy Savage, up, down again.
And he's going right for those ribs.
We have Sting.
Uh-oh.
Sting has arrived. He is up.
Fake Sting sporting the Jennifer Aniston
In
bob.
the middle part here, and there is Sting. Looking
I was always a big fan of the wigs they would get the fake Stings. You'd think they would just get like the same wig every week, but they would somehow try to find like a worse wig than the previous week.
Sting for the ceiling. We just saw Sting in the stands.
Yeah, the reason why DDP's ribs were taped for 3 years is because wrestlers don't have health insurance. Also, the thing about the fake Sting wigs is they never took into account that Sting had really nice hair, really thick, luxurious hair that looked way better than a wig.
If there's any impact player in the world, it's Kurt Hennig. Raven's over the steel guardrail. Raven is out as well.
Why did they ever explain why Raven jumped the rail? He wasn't like, yeah, it was to tease like, oh, we have all these major players, but like he was never involved in the Sting stuff again.
We're going to be back at Universal Studios Florida over the next couple of weeks. We invite you to join us for television tapings of WCW Worldwide and our sister.
God, Stevie Ray had the biggest frickin' bag. Yeah, Vince Russo's a wackadoodle, some would say. A dum-dum.
In the life of Rick and Scott Steiner. The Steiners defeated Harlem Heat in a return match to become #1 contenders. And then thanks, Brain, to a lot of trickery on behalf of the NWO, the Steiners...
Power Company. I love the Power Company.
This Sunday at Banks of the Beach, as you saw the Power Company...
I have to find the match. But they get brought back like a year after this for like a Saturday night taping. But like they weren't talking at the time. So one of them brought another guy with him who had a similar haircut. And they acted like they were twins.
They have been. Well, same way Harlem Heat feels. You know, they're undefeated for a long period of time. They've had some great wins.
I think Power Company and High Voltage might have happened. Yeah, Power Company were Kevin Sullivan buddies. Tony Rumble got them into WCW. I love the one Power Company guy is just like, yep, I'm just gonna switch which side I'm in the middle of the match, whatever. Has Stevie Ray ever said what that thing is on his shoulder? So I've been watching a lot of Dr. Pimple Popper lately. So like any like growth on somebody's shoulder, I just want to like put it up with a scalpel and like watch pus come out of it. Like it's so relaxing.
Usually he's fighting him off.
Piper does not wear a skirt, he wears a kilt.
Kilt in Scotland,
and he just wears a kilt here. He wears a kilt, there's a cover.
Yeah, make that little slit and just oatmeal, mashed potatoes come out. I always love when she's like describing the texture of it to this person as they're like laying there, like wanting this giant thing off their body.
To Ric Flair and Piper, but you know, I want to see exactly what Rodman's role is going to be in this tag team match.
Well, you know,
Jerry just blatantly like, fuck you.
I want to see who Diamond Dallas's partner is. That's what I want to see.
I want to see who's going to end their career, Benoit or Sullivan.
Power Company have the titty ties, as I like to call them.
Can win his first title.
Got Dr. Pimple Popper in like the WWF locker room in the 80s.
Really like to see?
Yeah, I do.
Would be magical.
Okay, let's stop it there.
I think we should. In the back of the head now, the Power Company.
Hey, Skunky Beaumont. Glad to have you here for a bit. Just in time to listen to me describe in detail what I watch on Dr. Pimple Popper and gross out everybody.
A designer outfit.
That's a designer outfit.
No doubt of Bob Mackey.
Cover here, one only, and a save made that time by Stevie Ray on the
You think
outside.
that Power Company synced up their cycles so they would look exactly as jacked as the other
What do you
one?
know about this Power Company?
Another big and strong identical twin.
Oh, I think he just landed on one Power Company dude's
Yes, they
face.
do. They've been training at the power plant.
We had neighbors once who were identical twins.
Really?
Yeah, the brother was too old.
Oh gosh.
That's a good one, right?
That YouTube chiropractor, I think I've told Brian this. My favorite episode or video that they posted, they brought Sabu in, and normally those things go like an hour. Like they just do all this work and ask him all these questions, and Sabu, it's like after 15 minutes, the guy's like, I can't do anything, you're broken. Sabu's like, okay.
Everyone take a good look.
Even though they have defeated.
Oh, my guilty pleasure YouTube thing. Skunky Beaumont, I'm with you. The ingrow hair removals, the cysts. It's relaxing. Like, I'll watch that shit in bed. It puts me to sleep. It's great.
Harlem Heat can just about do whatever they want to do.
Hey, Bowser extension. Yeah, Sabu's just like, yeah. What was it like working with Rob Van Dam? Yeah.
Go ahead,
shot at this.
It's 15 minutes. And they'll do like 3 hours with Lana.
Oh, he shot in. He's up. Look at that move. Takes them both out. Big, strong men.
Didn't even notice they were wearing weight belts. Valvoline poured so much money into this show. Yeah, Sabu's a dude who just doesn't give a shit. Like, he's maybe the most uncancelable wrestler ever. Because he says some of the most heinous, awful shit. And just powers through, because it's Sabu. We don't condone it, but Sabu's brain is mush. Also, why would somebody be offended that you brought out a mannequin dressed kind of like them?
It's what I'm trying to tell you. Icons apparently are made of. So, Roddy, Hot Rod,
let me blow you?
Let's have a moment of silence for the man formerly known as Hot Rod.
Rowdy Roddy Piper versus former
Ric Flair in a monster truck battle.
Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman battle the giant.
That would have been fun if he dropped the elbow.
Hollywood Hogan making his way to the ring to try to give this NWO group an advantage. WCW can contend with this. We are just outnumbered.
You know that thing we just watched?
We just saw Sting. We just saw Sting in the stands.
Look at Hogan backpedal.
Kurt Hennig! It's Kurt Hennig! Raven's over the steel guardrail. Raven is
That guy in the front row was like, "Hey, Raven, I'll join the flop."
We gotta go! It's wild!
The NWO, Scott Hall and Macho Man Randy Savage with Elizabeth against Diamond Dallas Page with Kimberly. Page will have a...
What if, like, John Tenta just poked his head out of that water?
Bash at the beach, Sunday, July 13th at 7 p.m.
That'd be something Triple H would do on Raw these days. Like one of those things that people are like, "Oh, it's so subtle." We're bringing back John Tenta. That's right. He's not a shark. He's not a precipitation movement. He's a man.
To have the current and brand new WCW Cruiserweight Champion here on WCW
All the
Worldwide.
days,
Jericho very happy.
all the days of my life. This is not the one with the lyrics, unfortunately. I love all the days. It's a good song. See, when you do that thing and there's not as many people in the crowd, you're just like, "Hey, come hug me." One guy's just like, "I love you, Chris Jericho."
This much thought of by the fans and has the ability of this man.
Ric Fuller, that's my goat. I love Ric Fuller. I love that Ric Fuller got a New Japan run, like 10 years after this. Ric Fuller, Massachusetts legend.
Definite size advantage. Does Fuller, and a man who, if you ask around and ask the athletes in WCW, the ones who are the top stars and who are established, they'll all tell you that Ric Fuller.
That's right, he was in Chaos before Okada was, I believe.
Very burly and very tough. Gonna be a star one day.
That'd be he was backstage at AEW last time they were in Boston. Because I think Mike Bennett posted a picture with him.
The manager could make a lot of money with this guy.
Yeah, dude, Ric Fuller is a guy who benefited from just getting mailbox checks for so long.
Other announcers like Larry Zbyszko preach this also. Intensity. To get in there, get the fight going. And Jericho does.
I like Adam Bomb. I thought Brian Clark was great. Those two as a team would have been fun. If Ric Fuller and Brian Clark Chronic, that would have been dope.
Well, you're right about that. And a guy that does show off and does a lot of that, eventually it'll come back to bite him.
Ric Fuller's one of those, like, Kevin Sullivan hired like a half dozen giant dudes to be enhancement talent in '97 because his plan was, in order to make baby faces to wrestle the giant when he was a heel, he would have them defeat all these other big guys on the way, like Luger before he would wrestle the Giant, he would wrestle like Ric Flair, and he would wrestle Big Ron Studd. So it could be like, see, I can rack a Giant. Yeah, Ric Fuller's gigantic. Yeah, and Roadblock, yeah. That was Sullivan's thing, was if we're gonna have the Giant here, babyfaces need to be able to show. That was cool. That was a really cool deal. And he's like, we need to be able to show that the babyfaces can beat up a big guy like that. Give them faith.
That's what you gotta do. Grab a hold. You got him, Fuller. I think Fuller may have him here.
Almost like a Regal stretch. Except he's just straight up choking him. And Nick Patrick's like pointing right at it, but he's not doing anything. Because as we always say on this show, not Ric Fuller, Nick Patrick sucks. And all my homies hate Nick Patrick.
They're yelling to him to crossface it. Sit on him a little more. Pull back. He'd have had him.
Right now, the Cruiserweight champion in the fight.
See, there's an argument that it's better if we see it for the first time and when they wrestle the Giant. But there's also an argument that like Benoit. I'm not condoning anything he did. But like when they built him up to wrestle the Giant, they had him beat Big Ron Studd because nobody thought he could. You know, he was a mid-card guy. He was tiny. But he wrestled a guy that was like 7'2" and like suplexed him off the top rope. You know? Gave him a little bit of credibility.
Real competitive matchup here. Champion in major trouble. Pick up. Trying to powerbomb. He landed on his feet. And Jericho drop kicks. Again, we've seen Jericho.
Well, I think the reason why they didn't reference Nick Patrick reffing NWO matches in the past during 2000 Nitro, because I'm pretty sure Russo didn't watch it. Like, Russo had no memory of it.
How tall is this for?
Oh, he's 6'10", every bit.
Oh.
What was that?
That was Chris Jericho.
Bobby Heenan just straight up pulling an Art Donovan. How big's this guy? With the Sullivan Nitros. Sullivan was in a bad way at that point. That was around the time Sullivan, like, passed out and had a seizure at a Nitro. So I would also very much believe Kevin Sullivan didn't remember. Oh, that could have been a DQ if the ref remembered. It's Nick Patrick, so he wouldn't have.
Therefore, no disqualification yet. Now Jericho up and down. Missile drop kick. Covers.
We're back to the Thrill Seekers. Ric Fuller could have been a good, like, Brody type. Ric Fuller did get a run in Japan, but he should have had a better one. Like, I think if Ric Fuller came around at either earlier or later, he would have been like a top American in Japan. Why is that guy just like doing like this to Jericho? Like, that doesn't feel good. Like, it's like kind of tapping Chris's nipple there, trying to milk him.
Jericho just can't seem to get him down with the drop kick. Sacrifices his own body.
That's a wild bump for a dude that big to be taken.
Jericho, one drop kick, drives him right to the mat. Comes off his top rope. Look how he nails him. Nails him flush right in the solar plexus. The big man forward.
The solar plexus, which, depending on which announcer you're saying it, is anywhere from here to your knees.
And fans, don't forget, this is the weekend. This Sunday, it's Bash at the Beach, only on pay-per-view. Call your local cable operator right now.
We're just going right into the next match. But that's not Goldberg. Oh no. That's Pat Tanaka.
Against a former champion, former television champion, Prince Iaukea.
Look at Tanaka kind of fluffing up his hair there.
Put Tanaka's last name right beside Iaukea's last name. And if put one hand over your eye, tell you can read and stand 10 feet back.
Oh, Bobby.
The night shark, it's gotta be.
It really is.
Patberg.
You're gonna get a mouthful of backhand chops. Maybe
Pat Tanaka trying to figure out how he can scam $500 out of the guys in the locker room. Hey, send me a tape and a check, and I'll get you into Michinoku Pro.
No longer the champion, but it was a very impressive title run for the Prince. So don't you think?
Well, I think he needs
Is that a crocodile hunter with his baby?
He's kind of been down on himself lately. What he needs is to remember that he, at one time, was television champion, and be a little more aggressive. Because he did it once, he can do it again.
Prince Iaukea.
I'll get you booked by Paul Lee. Just you know, just make that check out to Pat PAT.
Daytona Beach area. If you don't live in Central Florida or out on the Atlantic coast of Florida, of course, you can still join us. That's the way most people will join us on pay-per-view for Bash at the Beach. And Tanaka has Iaukea where he wants him. Look at the quickness of Iaukea. Blocks that one. How about that flip?
Pat Tanaka, as everybody knows, is English for El Gato.
Oh, he really has Tanaka off one step here.
You know, Tanaka's second
I'll put it on Mrs.
His
Baba
father,
for
Duke Kiamuka, the man that came over here from the Orient, had that claw hold.
Shout out to Bobby for correctly referencing Tanaka's dad, Duke Kiamuka.
Tanaka drops low, the Prince over the top.
Oh, that Pat Tanaka forearm. That ruled. Where he would do like a full rotation when he would hit you.
Stone bruise? Yeah. I don't think I've had one.
How do you? Well, if you step on a stone, or if you land flat on the ball, your foot, if you jump off a curb or something, how it hurts through your foot.
Sure.
Can you imagine two men wrestling barefoot? You know how tough their feet gotta be?
I could. I could pay $10 a month and see some dudes do that on OnlyFans.
I mean, those feet right there right now gotta be like bricks.
Hey, what you have to realize is guys.
Oh god, that guy, I remember, I know who you're talking about, Mr. Wrestling 3. So many dudes back in the day on the indies, in this era. It was so easy to run scams like that. Like you made one appearance on like TV getting squashed, and you could go around for years. Oh yeah, I'm an agent, or I'm developmental for. Oh, that was dope. For this big company, and the next thing you know, everybody in the locker room is writing them checks.
Prince battling as he tries to get back to a standing position, and here is Tanaka. How about these maneuvers? A poke to the eye and a gouge. That's right out of his father's textbook right there.
Look at that. That's right.
I believe that's illegal in the NWA rulebook. Karate thrusts of any kind.
Tanaka,
a little bitty ponytail.
a little
Itty bitty ponytail. What? What? Oh. Kind of a teardrop suplex.
Followed up by standing sidekick, and now Prince Iaukea.
Rocky.
With a flying body press.
A flying body press.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, Bobby giving him shit for how he spaced up these syllables.
Standing sidekick, flying body press.
That kid's gonna fall over that rail. That kid with the fanny pack. That child has pills.
He's not like a guided missile. He glides.
Hey, Drew Bug. Yes, Prince Nakamaki.
Like he's skydiving. Like he can land any place he wants to. Get a load of this. Prince comes off.
Get a load of this. More announcers should go into replays, talking like they're the old grandpas at the horse tracks. Get a load of this. This horse right here. Get a load of this.
There's your winner, the Prince. Poodle Prince, as we call him.
No, it's Prince Iaukea, former champ is what we call him. When we come back, Glacier Sergeant Craig Pittman in our main event on Worldwide Wrestling.
Hell yeah, WCW Battle Arts.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Dairy Management. No milk for your coffee means
no horny milk commercials this week, unfortunately.
You know what it means. Got milk?
The milk still gets a plug.
Welcome back, fans, to this main event matchup here on WCW Worldwide. And this Bash at the Beach.
This is the butt end of the Craig Pittman WCW run, where he is turned back heel.
You're going to see the greatest stars in our sport collide in matches of epic proportions, including.
I love the one kid, like, hey, marching. Like he wants to give Pittman shit, but he's not secure enough in himself. Hell yeah. But the dude from Pantera? Alright, Brian will report back with his report on barista blend oat milk.
He is quite an athlete. And
braver man than I.
Fuller, the cat they call him, will be with Glacier against Mortis and Wrath.
I love that it didn't start Glacier's music immediately, so it just looked like Craig Pittman suddenly got a cool laser light show.
And what an athlete. Still undefeated in singles competition is Glacier, and here he comes. Not only that, he's a very dedicated, very determined man, but also very polite, very respectful.
Tony Schiavone just call him a very German man.
The kind of thing that he learned in the Orient. He learned respect. He learned admiration. He learned discipline.
Hear my ears.
A great career in the squared circle.
Now that Pittman entrance at Fall Brawl 95 where he rappelled down, while ironically enough Prince Iaukea played a soldier who distracted Cobra. But that's such a cool entrance.
Well, I think he has learned that.
Yeah, I agree with you more so than when he
God.
first came here.
I'm gonna go blind. Why are you shooting directly into that light? Like zooming right into it. So many kids at home having seizures. Yeah, I can't. You don't know what's going on. It's just a flood of white.
Well, naturally you respected me.
In the ring before they went into a broadcasting career.
But I'm telling
Superstar.
you, he gets in the ring, no matter if it's more.
But I think whenever I see somebody just like shadow karateing, I think of was it Mary Elizabeth Gallagher? Who's the character? Mary Beth Gallagher, Mary Elizabeth Gallagher? One of the Molly Shannon character from All Set. Yeah, Craig Pittman was far out of wrestling by 9/11. Mary Catherine, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Mary Catherine Gallagher. Thank you.
Pro wrestler, we have seen him now with a clenched fist, and this is because of what has been happening. And you and I disagree on the fact that Ernest Miller came out recently with Glacier and calls Wrath and Mortis to lose.
That was kind of cool. Give him a little kick in the butt.
I thought it was fighting fire with fire.
So I didn't say it was bad. I said what Miller did was good.
Dude, I loved the Glacier run at the end of WCW, where he was the insincere superhero babyface. That had so much potential.
Three of them do, huh? There's a knee lift by the Pitbull Craig Pittman. You're talking about a contrast in styles, fans. Look at this. The classic mat wrestler, former amateur champion, all-military champion, and the Pitbull, and the martial artist turned pro wrestler.
Yeah, that's a shame it only lasted like a month. And Norman Smiley would have been such a good person for him to tag on, to like base from. With the character.
Which is great, but it won't do you a whole lot of good when a guy like Malenko gets you down and puts you
that Craig Pittman headbutt that likely would have resulted in neck surgery if he kept doing it for longer than this.
A leg sweep so quick as Glacier. Now Glacier, this is a sit-up for the cryonic kick. If he can get the distance, oh boy, did he!
Oh, he nailed him with that one.
Did he ever?
Nick Patrick was holding his fucking arm down. Go back and watch that. Oh, shout out Mike World Order. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. But no, Nick Patrick, if you go back and look, he's fucking he's holding down Greg Pittman's arm.
I bet you did. Great for opening cans.
I hate Nick Patrick. I'm getting way too emotional about this. I have actual concerns in my life. And I'm over here yelling about Nick Patrick. That dirty ref finish brought to you by Valvoline.
Speaking of that brain, we have a great program next week on Worldwide Wrestling because James Vandenberg will bring Mortis out in action next week.
Next week? Okay, if he's here next week, this man's gonna be here next
There's
week.
Glacier just on this show every week.
Tag team action. Rocco Rock, Johnny Grunge at their table. Watch out for Public Enemy next week.
And amigo, it's time for Hoovy.
Didn't they advertise Hoovy and Ray
That's right, for the brain.
for this episode?
I'm Tony Schiavone.
I swear they did. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Anyway, before we get into our final episode of WCW Worldwide for tonight, here's what we'll be watching next week. on WCW Deep Cuts Live, exclusively on Twitch.
Bottom line, we're here, it's WCW, this is where the big boys play, and it's Saturday night.
All right, next week we're going to 1996. That is way too loud. All right, there we go. We'll always think of Thunder and Lightning now when I think of that sign from Off the Grid this past Sunday. David Taylor. Oh, there we go, Ice Train. There's Ice Train. I saw somebody shut out Ice Train earlier. Bobby Heenan, who I don't think he changed clothes.
Current cruiserweight champion Chris Jericho in action. And Brain, we are heading now to the month of August. That means
yeah, we never got to see Rey Mysterio.
South Dakota, and the big bike
assholes.
We all can't wait to get to Sturgis and Road Wild.
Can you imagine? Remember what it was like last year? Remember the heat? Remember the people all over? Think this year. Think of the hillsides there in Sturgis.
Bobby Heenan dressed like an 80s Coke dealer.
All those bicycles and those huffies and Schwinns coming down the side.
It's not huffies and Schwinns and bicycles. It's motorcycles.
You said a bike rally.
That's what I meant, motorcycle rally. You were there weren't you there with us last year?
Yes, I was there. I had a sidecar. Remember we were on that one turn?
Oh, I remember that. That was fun.
Well, you said bike rally. I didn't know what you meant.
Let's go to the ring. We'll talk more about it this week on Worldwide.
Yeah, Bobby's just excited for the tequila.
First match in
The famous Sturgis tequila.
Here at Worldwide Wrestling will be James
Yes, Road Wild was free attendance. Just because Bischoff and his buddies really wanted to go to Sturgis and ride their bikes.
A lot of things on his mind.
He's very odd brain, but you've got to agree with me in saying that he is really...
Bobby was going to hang with the horny man of Sturgis. All-time great.
The nightmare continues is what he just said.
The nightmare continues.
I wonder how he looks under that mask.
Somebody told me he was burnt. It's all scarred.
Here comes a real man at work, Mortis.
Some kind of a rash or disease. I heard so many different things. I don't know if I want to look. Why don't you just...
Now, this song is so cool.
No,
let me know what you see.
I really don't want to get close to that man at all.
You notice the smell on him?
That's right. Thank you for bringing that up, Cecil. Sturgis, famous for the birthplace of Canadian indie legend Harley Davidson, as we've discussed before. Hell yeah. I would not be surprised if wrestlers were dumb enough that after Eddie Mansfield exposed the blade thing, that instead of just hiding it better, they would just punch each other in the face for real to get busted up. Because that's dumb wrestler logic.
In Malaysia and in Taipei.
Look at his eyes. See if you can see anything.
Red Edge means I'm better than you.
I mean, it's like almost as if his pupils were the whole eye, just very black eyes.
Coal.
Black as coal.
He's wrestling the Adrian Bird? It is Adrian Bird. The Canyon ruled. I love Canyon. Adrian Bird wearing his British Bulldog Halloween costume here.
Try to hit and run, and there's nowhere for Adrian Bird to go here, Brain.
Oh yeah, there is. Down.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Always fun when the babyface wrestler in the match jumps the heel and then gets his ass kicked.
He enjoys having his men inflict pain on the opponent. That's his hobby, and he collects abnormalities.
Abnormalities. That's way cooler than oddities. The abnormalities. God, Adrian Bird looks like a lamp.
But it didn't last long. And now, this big man, talented individual, puts Adrian Bird down. Mortis to the attack.
Bird is the word, my friend.
And he's got such great agility. And he knows where he is in that ring at all times. No matter how much damage is done to his face or his eyes, he seems to know his way around pretty good.
Blatant chokehold.
And imagine how much Canyon would have made off of Mortis masks if Mortis was a thing nowadays.
looking at. He, of course, and his partner, the gigantic Wrath. Here's a good move by Bird. Sunset flip, and he got a 2 count that time. But Mortis with a jumping spin wheel kick.
Yeah, Adrian Bird was very short. Like, I think he was, like, if not Rey Mysterio's height, then only an inch or two taller. Very short man.
I like the trunks on Mr. Bird. It looks like a
Cecil. I love the idea of wrestlers knowing their way around the ring. It's an empty 20 by 20 square, not a lot of secret nooks, except when Ultimate Warrior is in the main event. Because he's got to have that trap door to come up. Here we go, the peaks of the mountains. The flatliner.
That's his signature maneuver. It's a combination Samoan drop off of the top.
It's time to ground this Bird.
Is he going to go up to the second this time? Nope. Yeah, we kind of did.
That was pretty awesome, and we anticipated that. As Mortis.
I love what Tony was like, yeah, we anticipated that. We saw that coming. We could have called that.
Here on Worldwide Wrestling.
And no Steiner Wrath.
Well, and that's because
Yeah, no Steiner Wrath. It's almost like this was taped months before his debut.
Had they been around during this match, you would have seen Wrath, I'm sure.
Yeah, we knew Mortis was going to win. We have the format right here, guys.
And leave these great fans alone.
Imagine if Shivani was betting on Worldwide. Like, his gimmick was he was a degenerate. He was betting on the lowest end matches.
We'll be back, fans.
This portion of WCW Worldwide Wrestling is brought to you by Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline.
Did we poll America's top mechanics? Also, who are America's top mechanics? Please tell me.
During the course of the commercial break, that security here at World Championship Wrestling and at Universal Studios, Florida.
They did it again. Putting Glacier and Mortis back to back, and poor Tony has to explain, hey, when they were walking by each other in the locker room, there was a lot of security there.
WCW Worldwide Arena here.
Is that what all the cops were doing in the back there?
That's exactly what's going on, and they had to do that so Glacier.
See, so I believe Disco Inferno did that in like early Russo WCW. Like he was betting on like I think he was betting on the Mamalukes match. Oh, no, he was betting on matches, and then he lost money to Tony Marinara, and the Mamalukes came to get their money from him. And like he was having to like interfere to try to like rig match results. And then it just ended up with him and Lash LaRue like tar and feathering Tony Marinara for some reason. And then he ends up with the Mamalukes. I don't even remember how that happened.
One of the most spectacular in our sport in Glacier.
Yeah, after blood's running that cold, that's right, Judas Effect. Try to go see a doctor, you might be dead.
Rightfully so, the very fluid, smooth transition from a martial artist into the complete wrestler, because he has a great arsenal of wrestling moves to go with his superb skill.
I love this breakdown in the song. Whoever wrote the song was like, man, like really, like I get to show my musicianship. And his opponent is the referee.
Glacier will meet Ric Fuller.
Oh, Ric Fuller! Oh yeah. All my homies love Ric Fuller. Last week he was 6'10". Losing height.
You have to move out of the way because that crowning kick is one of the most explosive, one of the fastest moves in our sport.
Glacier and Fuller's gear looked like they each fought a different animal before they walked out.
Ric Fuller sent to the far side. Good maneuver now.
Whoa.
He forgot his lips. Oh shit. His head was real close to hitting that apron. Is Glacier gonna do a dive?
Glacier, who came into the sport because of his martial arts skill, with a lot of.
That's true. Upwards of 6'7" does technically include 6'10". That's right, La Bamba. Gotta give him credit.
Because his wrestling style is getting better. His expertise in the whole.
I love how, like, when Glacier started losing matches, the announcers started giving credit for learning wrestling. And it's like, no, if you actually watch the show, it's making him shittier. He should just do karate. There we go. Glacier is 3-0. And now he's going to go put together a match on Ring of Honor. Glacier exists because Eric Bischoff saw his kid playing Mortal Kombat. And in the story Glacier tells, is originally how Bischoff wanted Blood Runs Cold to be. Was he took Ray Lloyd, the guy who played Glacier, drove him to like a parking garage in downtown Atlanta, and watched an underground fight club. And he's like, I want you guys to do that. Here we go, Lee Marshall. This is going to be great.
Neither of them is easy to come by. It usually takes a long time to acquire both, if you're lucky enough to acquire them at all. This man became an overnight
Come on, just get to the interview.
If you consider that 8-9 years is overnight.
He is burrowing in his jacket.
Diamond Dallas Page is being given to him, the accolades from the fans certainly. And now Diamond Dallas Page, who basically revolutionized the sport with the diamond cutter.
Oh, hey, he's wearing a bootleg Harley Davidson shirt.
A lot of people who just started watching wrestling over the last
misspelled it with that D. Hey, Hank, welcome to the chat.
That I started as a manager, became a color commentator at the same time.
Glad to have you first time, Hank.
I worked all over the world, but where I
yeah, no, not a Dusty idea. It was an Eric Bischoff idea to merchandise some new characters.
Because he just didn't want to stick it out here. And I felt to myself,
spooky. Yeah, check out my short on Monday about Van Hammer in 1995. It's a trip.
I mean, everybody said, "Are you nuts?" I mean, you're not a wrestler. I said, yeah, but I had the mental ability. I knew exactly where I was going.
DDP's just doing an interview about how people said he couldn't be a wrestler.
I know what I was doing, so I went down there. And
not even hyping a match. He's like
down at the power plant, and I studied all the time, not just in the ring, on the road, but at home watching tapes. So I picked the best 4 guys I knew. Jake the Snake Roberts, Terry Funk, Kurt Hennig, and Macho Man, Randy Savage. Cool. These are the best 4 guys I thought were ever in the ring for their ability, how they...
And shout out Terry Funk, who was ECW World Champion at this point.
Which brings me to Savage. Savage, like I just said,
yeah, this is the speech you get whenever you first get into DDP Yoga. DDP sent you a YouTube link with this speech.
I must say, it's time for the student to give a lesson to the teacher.
Oh, Lee Marshall delivered that like he had been thinking about that for hours. I got DDP coming up. He's going to talk about Kurt Hennig. I got a great line.
Now it's time to enjoy some of the stars from south of the border from Mexico.
I tried DDP Yoga like years ago. It was very hard. And I am not flexible enough. I'm too lazy. Gave up after like 3 weeks. But I could see where it does well for me.
One of the top cruiserweights in the world. And of course, when our fans who are familiar with the Lucha Libre style that they bring to this country,
Here comes Hoovy.
6-man tag action. But in singles competition, guys like
Against Super Calo, 3 for 3.
Very successful in the cruiserweight division. And here comes the masked man.
Like, there was a period at Universal Studios where, like, no matter what time of day you went there, if you were just hanging around this soundstage, you would get to see Super Calo wrestle.
Very agile. The bell sounds. Here we go, Brian. What do you expect in this matchup?
Yeah, DDP Yoga can be... Yeah, I can see where it's definitely useful. And I think if I stuck with it, it would have been helpful.
Coming up very soon, we'll have more information.
Yeah, get me to 100,000 followers on Twitch, 1 million on YouTube, and I will do some more DDP Yoga.
Got a 2 count. And there's another one the other way. We'll be giving you information next week on this program. We'll be in Sturgis, South Dakota, live for Road Wild at the gigantic biker rally. Don't miss Road Wild. Information next week.
Tony.
Oh, he hit him right in the sunglasses.
Who do you like here, Tony? You like Hoovy or do you like
I like Calo.
Drano?
I like Calo.
Drano. Super Drano. That has to be a luchador.
Intensity here, Brain.
I'll tell you, these wrestlers who
With all the trademark infringement they do down there.
Recently, Rey Mysterio challenged the big man Nash.
Yeah, it sucks that Calo was out of the company by the time Mayhem happened.
And then we saw Monet come out and break the leg of Mysterio.
Oh, he should have had his leg broke.
No, he shouldn't have. No one deserves that, Brain.
By the way, shout out my SSRI gang as I punch the microphone.
Oh, stop it, please. Leg on the rope, and that's going to break the count for Mark Curtis. Moving to it again. Kicking. Backhand chop. Guerrero.
God, Blitzkrieg in a video game would have been unreal.
I think the American people.
Narcoleptico. Get Curtis Hughes to show up. The Mystery Wrestling. Put him in a mask. As I'm knocking shit around. I got so excited about Curtis Hughes.
They don't have to be educated to know what every move is. I think they know. The wrestling fan here in the States is. They know what's going on.
I think one of the most amazing things about the style that we've seen, crossbody right there, we got it too, is that these guys can continue.
Ooh, thought Calo was going to do that neck bump he always does.
Where they risk life, limb, everything.
And the pursuit of happiness.
Mr. Hughes, I'm a Mr. Hughes fan.
A lot of these wrestlers are
his ECW run was a
they came up from
blast.
nothing. They'll do anything to win. Money means a
Oh,
lot more to those people.
the sidewalk slam he did to Mikey Whipwreck when they wrestled, unreal.
It's amazing they can continue. It's amazing. It's amazing after all the things that Rey Mysterio had accomplished in our sport, in the spectacular, revolutionary type maneuvers that he is famous for.
WCW had Atlantis come in for a tryout about a year after this. He did a weekend of worldwide tapings. I did a short about this a couple months ago. He came in, he wrestled Lynn Denton, the Portland wrestling veteran, the grappler, in a real weird match. And then he wrestled Emilio Charles, a dude that he was familiar with, but they billed him as Liz Mark Jr. Mike Tenay, who should have known better, called him Liz Mark Jr.
From Mexico, they're are into the NWO?
Not now, not that I know of.
But they have Japanese wrestlers in it.
Yeah, they sure do. There
They
you
have
go.
American, they have Canadian, they have everything. You might have hit on something, Shivani.
Might have their brains.
You might be right the first time.
Oh boy, Calo with a great defensive maneuver, just retreating in time, but runs into
Then
a
kick to the forehead.
And Juventud with a head of steam. Calo! Oh! Calo, the stronger of the two men.
Were there Canadians in the NWO? I don't think so.
There goes Calo. Down the point of the elbow with the elbow drop.
Yeah, I love Worldwide from this era specifically because you never know who's coming out of that curtain. Genuine. Bret Hart joined about a year after this. Oh, that was dope. Yeah, Brian Adams wasn't in yet. He was still in the DOA. I don't think there were Canadians. I think Bobby was just talking just to talk.
They're hungry. They're hungry. They want to win.
Wait, is Calo going to win? Oh, a little bit better than the one that he gave to old Dave Sierra. Wow. I believe Calo. I believe he's 3 for 3. Super Calo and his streak. Did you say Super Cattle? Yeah, it's Tony Schiavone. I think if I didn't know any better, I'd think the fix was in. Castrol GTX. Ooh. Valvoline didn't pay the bill this week. Bobby. Backyard wrestling started because Bobby Heenan just telling kids to do lucha. Lose audio for a second. Should come back.
Tony in the brain for Worldwide.
There we go. Public Enemy.
Fans love this one. You see them standing, moving their arms.
What a great show that would be. Tony
Against the Power Company. We're just watching the same like 8 guys wrestle over and over. What a blast.
We're your hosts each and every week. Next week, more information on Road Wild coming your way to pay-per-view.
I always love watching wrestling fans try to do like arm things in the crowd, knowing they only have so much room before they just smack the guy next to him. That's why like Yes worked, because you're just going straight up.
I'm going to be up in Cleveland this weekend.
You got a good friend there with the Indians, don't you?
John Hart, general manager of the Indians. Good friend Mark Wiley, pitching coach of the Indians.
That's why Shark Boy never got the hammerhead over.
They have a great baseball team and a great facility, and here are 2 men who, I guess their facility is their table.
Yeah, get fans doing Kermit arms.
Like a fine surgeon. That's their operating table. And they
Yeah, the Power Company and High Voltage are different people. Why the hell is the camera so close to that man? Power Company were like Massachusetts, Northeast Indie guys, and High Voltage were power plant training. But yeah, same look pretty much. Similar names.
And he never gives you those messages about the meetings?
Tony, you know if I had the message, I'd certainly...
Yeah, that Johnny Grunge shot was a POV, you were vodka.
Nevertheless, we've been discussing the fact that what you're seeing here is really a rule that...
Right, who's getting out? I think Johnny, there we go. God, when Booker T really got over and everybody in the crowd was raising the roof, they would just cut to the most awkward people. Is great. Joe Hendry needs like a dance move for fans to do.
Which is really incredible if you think about what the rules used to be, Brain.
Look at Rocco. Do it occasionally in like WCW squashes. Rocco would get bored and do one of his old Cheetah Kid moves. The Power Plant had 3 rings. Insert circus joke here. No, it had a number of rings. And also, weirdly enough, from the footage I've seen, considering everybody in there was gigantic. Ooh, Tiger Faint. The gym was just like a weight bench and some like free weights, like nothing really impressive, considering everybody in the power plant was weighted out of their minds.
They do not, Brain. Where did you hear this?
Rocco Rock very subtly calling the spot. Must be a long one. God, that Nation of Domination gif with the one guy with the Coke bottle glasses. Oh, classic.
When he was brutally attacked by the
classic.
a few weeks ago, hot coffee thrown on him, just trying to take Nick Patrick out. And he has proved himself now to be a great referee. And Johnny Grunge now with a series of headbutts. This is where Johnny Grunge likes to get you. Now this Power Company, these 2 men, identical twins, are so strong and so powerful that they are...
Because of the Power Company, get it? Look at Johnny Grunge having to do moves.
Yes, they do.
Like, shit, we have like 5 minutes to fill. What am I supposed to do?
That's the good part of a tag team. A good tag team will always be good if they know how to save each other. If you can get in and out of that ring before that 4 count or 5 count by the referee and save your partner, which is legal inside the rules, then you'll be successful.
Hey, it's a double team. They did use the rings at the power plant to do blow-up drills where everybody threw up.
A warning now from the referee.
Also, a lot of power plant guys, they did use the rings, but not to like learn like, you know, like the basics. Like, I feel like half the power plant guys were the best springboard artists ever. Like High Voltage were great springboard guys. The Natural Born Thrillers, Helix Skipper, etc. Hey, Bobby Dice Roller, thank you so much for popping up in the chat, aka the Erotic Eric Fontaine fan club. Thank you so much. I love weird wrestling too, and that's why I do these streams. Glad to have you, Bobby. That table is taped. I don't know if it's taped together, but I know they would like saw tables in half and then do like weird tape designs to distract from it.
The other guy get out of the ring while he counted. Sure. Nowadays, you can't control anybody.
Hey guys, look, I got an 8x10 of somebody who's not here. Oh. Nick Patrick is no homoing Public Enemy there. Don't like that.
I don't think he wants to be hugged by anybody. He's still burning. He's still hurt.
He's still burning.
They love to have a good time, and the fans love it. And Public Enemy's in the house here.
Oh, I know that girl. She was in that movie Jurassic Park.
Oh, God, Bob.
Oh, fans, I apologize.
I took my kids to Universal Studios, and some wrestlers just grabbed them and started shaking them around.
Yeah, they belong in there with those people. Hey, nice dress.
Bobby, that's my job.
I didn't say nothing wrong. I said nice shirt.
Yeah, don't let Public Enemy touch your children.
Obviously,
Imagine being an ECW fan at this time. Public Enemy was in your company like 2 years earlier, like slicing their foreheads and bleeding everywhere. And now they're dancing with children.
And they don't fit.
Let's go to Lee Marshall.
Thanks very much. Hi, everybody. Lee Marshall here in the
Thanks
locker
very
room.
much.
What I'm about to do kind of reminds me of one of those old good news, bad news jokes. You know, here's first the good news. Well, let me...
Oh, it's Jeff. It's our buddy Jeff Jarrett.
US heavyweight
Hell yeah.
champion Jeff Jarrett. Looks like you still have a lot of pride in that.
They did Saturday night at various, like, small arenas around where they would film Nitro. Like, if Nitro was in Atlanta, they would do Saturday night in, like, Gainesville.
Surrounded by the other horsemen.
Hey, Connor Mac Picks. Glad to see you in the chat for the first time. That is Tony the Tiger, indeed.
I do indeed.
And that's Jeff the Goat.
We've always seen eye to eye. The way I see it, Four Horsemen is...
Jeff Jarrett had some of the best button-up shirts in this era. It's so shiny.
Because ever since I was affiliated with the Four Horsemen...
Very, like, Euro trash.
Since I was teamed up with Mongo McMichael, my career headed south. But now that I'm out on my own, what am I wearing around my waist?
Beautiful head of hair on Jeff. Jeff still has good hair.
You are the U.S. heavyweight champion.
Absolutely, Stagger Lee. And Benoit, McMichael, Arn Anderson.
Jeff, no doubt,
Four Horsemen.
spent so much time on that hair. Great hair.
Is because those three guys, and now, Rick, you've added to the list. It's professional jealousy. That's exactly the reason. That's what it boils down to. That's why you ousted me from the Four Horsemen.
Oh, I would love to hear your La Bamba Lee Marshall confession. I would love to hear that, La Bamba.
Because you are 13-time world heavyweight champion. You're the guy who invented styling and profiling and walking the walk and talking the talk. But now your days have come and gone, like I said, Rick. And me and
Yeah,
you
this is a man who would
face-to-face, and
be
just
like
I said
Taylor
on
Swift's
Nitro, when you ousted me from
uncle
the Four Horsemen,
later in
you
life,
pulled
pretty
the gun,
much.
right up to your head. It's
Yeah, Lee's got a
already
good head of
loaded.
hair.
I'm going to be the one to pull the trigger and put you
Oh,
out
that's
the pack.
that video. Yeah, the one where boom, in the head. That's great. You did a great service, La Bamba. Thank you for doing that. Ooh, up next, Ice Train. Bow, bow. Here we go. Is it David Taylor versus Ice Train? They still had main event. Main event was only one original match every week, though. Worldwide and Pro were kind of the C show, like tied for the C show. Bruce Pritchard. All right, this week in sports from Stephen J. Neptune Man, July 20th, 1997. The Yankees lost to the Brewers 6-2. The Mets beat the Reds 10-1. And the #1 song on the country was still "I'll Be Missing You." R.I.P. B.I.G.
You just starting old gym. That's how you start as a young boy over there in Europe learning how to wrestle.
There we go. Teddy Long leading his man, the Ice Train. God, the shoulders. It's ridiculous. His shoulders are bigger than Hoovy was. At this time, Judas Effect, they had Nitro. They had Saturday night. They had main events, which was mostly a recap show. They had Worldwide, and they had Pro. They had 5 shows. It's so much TV. As I knock over a bottle. I swear that was filled with water at one point.
Oh, I would think so. You don't want to stand up and match drinking.
Actually, most of the WCW shows at this point, I think main event was the only recap show. Like the rest of them were first run matches.
The big pay-per-view spectacular in the month of August comes your way for the second straight year from the Biker Rally in Sturgis, South Dakota. It's WCW's Road Wild. Saturday night, August
Thunder essentially replaced, they took Pro and they took Main Event because they were both on TBS, and WCW gave up those hours and got the 2 hours on TBS primetime. Though Pro still ran in syndication for most of '98. Look at that leapfrog. Ice Train was unreal. Ooh, just big old belly bump. Love belly bumps. What was I gonna say? No, like Pro still ran through like most of '98, and they still had one original match. Which thankfully those shows were just uncovered recently by somebody. They were kind of lost. Those '98s. Those '98 pros. Oh, this day in Cecil Nick's history. Cecil replaced A.R. Fox at a match unannounced in front of 1,500 people and almost started a riot. That's our Cecil. Thank you, Jonathan. If that was a skill, having useless novels about WCW, like if like Beat the Geeks was still on, I could definitely be the WCW geek. Pro was on Sundays. I think around this point was when it switched from Sunday morning to Sunday at 5:05. Oh, got a little booby hanging out, and Teddy Long pointed right at it. What's side? Of course. Dude's from fucking Georgia.
WCW Worldwide.
Ice Train and ECW would have been something. I think that's an interesting thought. Like, Bowser extension. Like, what would have happened if Ice Train went to ECW? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Hank. That's pretty much the tiers. Yeah.
And that's Chris Jericho. He defeated 6 of the NWO to become the Cruiserweight champ, and that was a big...
All right, Stephen J. Neptune Man. Around this time was the Raw's War from Halifax, where Hart Foundation defeated Dude Love, Stone Cold, and The Undertaker in a 6-man flag match. God, that summer, that '97 summer for the WWF was great.
It certainly is, and Chris Jericho will have to face...
So they would shoot not 4 weeks of shows at these Universal tapings. They would shoot 3 to 4 months of shows. They would spend like 2 weeks every 3 or 4 months down there and just shoot matches every day, all day.
Silver King, Super Calo, that this man, Psychosis, has the best chance of becoming...
Very underrated Super Calo, Garrett. Is that Randy Hogan?
Well, you gotta look at it this way too. Look at the attitude change.
Yeah, this was WCW TV tapings at Universal or at Disney before this were like any other attraction. Like nowadays you go to Disney and you go into like the Frozen Sing-Along or the Indiana Jones Stunt Show. That's what these were. Every 40-45 minutes they'd do a show. And then they would cycle out, and then a new group of people would come in to get out of the sun.
I don't admire him. I don't like him. I do admire him.
Yeah, this should be a fun match.
I do like him.
That was rough.
Take charge guy.
He said he was just doing this to try to make Chavo Jr. a man.
And this was the period where they were flying in legit some of the best wrestlers in the world. Because the WCW undercard was just unreal. Like all the cruiserweights and stuff. And doing these like really fun like work rate matches in front of a bunch of tourists who didn't care. Like bringing in like all the New Japan guys, all the, you know, all the luchadors.
Wonderful to be spoiled.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I have to imagine at like the peak of WCW, like around this time through like mid to late '98, there had to have been a line for like free wrestling during the peak of wrestling in the late '90s.
Jericho spent a lot of time in Mexico, hasn't he? Wrestling.
He's wrestled in Mexico, but of course Japan is where he made his name. Came over here, the United States, started wrestling full-time in WCW and became the Cruiserweight champ. And he realized this is a great strategy if you think about it, because we've discovered...
And I'm going to throw out a controversial Disney opinion. I'm a big fan of It's a Small World. Like, I know it's cheesy and old, but like the set design is immaculate on that.
Yes, I did. Gonna do it again. Pulls back on the wrist into a hammerlock. Jericho.
But these people really get behind this Jericho, don't they? Sure do.
Yeah, It's a Small World rules.
Listen to them. They're on their feet.
Jericho.
Oh, whiffed on that one. There we go. Got him.
And there's a kick by Psychosis. Covers him 1, 2, and...
Best place in the world to be.
What, Canada?
Out of Canada.
Oh, I thought you meant being covered by Psychosis.
That's better than being in Canada.
Why is
I mean, it
Canada
could
the best place
be.
in the world to be?
Depending on how much into hair you are.
You said it was.
Best place to be is, like you said, out of Canada.
Out. Oh. And Psychosis, look at Jericho's quickness. Drop down low, ducks a shot.
Oh, super kick.
Robot kick or standing side kick from Jericho.
I think it was 98. They did like I think it was Nagata versus Chono at Universal, and then like the next month they headlined in front of like 20,000 people in Japan.
You know who?
It's something like that. One of the big headline New Japan matches in '98, they did a month earlier at like Universal in front of 300 people who didn't have a clue who they were. That's WCW, baby.
Sting. Well, I think we all know what he's thinking as it relates to Hollywood.
And I love the Pirates ride too. I think the Pirates ride's great.
The sooner the better, Sting, if you're listening.
I never thought
We've been to Disney 4 or 5 times. I'm a big fan of the Pirates ride.
I'd like to see a pit bull on Hogan. Or a chihuahua on Hogan. A parakeet.
Here's a scoop slam by Jericho. Jericho now is going to go to the top. Look at this. Full body splash from the outside. Got a 2 count.
As opposed to what, a half body splash?
Psychosis.
Yeah, Jericho, though, so fundamentally sound. Backhand chop. Jericho laying him in now. You can hear the chest just popping with those forearm shots and fists. Jericho, the agility to get out of the corner. He's getting Psychosis.
Yeah, Nagata wrestled Ultimo Dragon on Worldwide. They wrestled him like so many times.
Jericho was trying to get him off balance. He connected with
That's crazy. That's awesome, Jonathan. Crazy and awesome.
Timing was not that good, but still Jericho in trouble.
I've never been to Disneyland Paris. I've been to Florida. Been to Disney World.
He just jumped up, turned around, and thought he'd nailed Psychosis. He should have looked.
Right into the Valvoline. Checked his oil. Speaking of Mary Catherine Gallagher, got the guy at ringside with his hands at his armpits. Like he's not quite sure about this wrestling stuff. Animal Kingdom, I don't like because it's too far. It's like too spread out. Everything's too far from each other.
What a big win it would be for Psychosis to bring the Cruiserweight Championship to Mexico.
There's some cool stuff, but it just gotta walk too far to get from one thing to another. Oh, guillotine from the back of the head.
We got a winner here. We got a new champion here, Tony.
Oh, we almost did. Oh.
Oh, so Jericho's the champion, but they taped this like 3 months ago, so he didn't have the belt.
Well, we all saw the arm go up and then on the way down to the 3 count. But I think Mark Curtis was right on top of it. He saw
Psychosis giving the camera a little FU with his hands there.
Now you may say he's jobbed by the referee, but I don't think so. Consistency.
Maybe he's doing a little berserker. Huss, huss, huss.
Do you like the loan money?
No. Side headlock, actually a reverse chinlock here applied. Jericho.
There's nothing side about that, Tony. It appears as if he's smothering him to death.
As he grinded in the reverse chinlock here, almost like a sleeper.
Look at all that hair. I believe they were, but they were a little more subtle about it at this point. Like they didn't just straight up have cheerleaders. Like, I think they actually had signs where you could not see them.
That was great execution. Psychosis just had the momentum going his way, and a running lariat to put the Cruiserweight champion down.
And it was a running Larry. It was more like a stampeding Larry. You see how fast he came off that mat? He still has a lot of fight.
That guy in the overalls on the floor, just looking at this shit like, these guys are no Wilbur Snyder.
But he's got the same explosion that coaches look for from a standing position, and there's a drop kick.
The Bears. So many Bears fans. Yeah, all these people had to have been pissed. I thought there was a Chicago Bear wrestler in WCW now. He's not here.
If I was him, I'd stay with that sleeper hold.
Oh! How about that? Ricochet on the top.
That bump that every luchador takes, I feel like.
I think he knocked one off. Or is that a turn signal?
Is that a turn signal?
Jericho blocking and firing rights on him. Jericho will slug it out with you. Jumping spin wheel kick.
I don't think they advertised any specific wrestlers. They just threw up wrestling. Oh yeah, I've seen raw footage from those like 93, 94 tapings. They had a warm-up comedian, like it's sitcoms, like telling jokes in between matches. And then they would tell the fans, like, okay, this guy comes out of here, you go, yay! This guy comes out of this one, you go, boo!
Psychosis had him about 3 or 4 minutes ago. He had him really,
shout out Richard Land.
Really pinned. Referee blew that call.
Did not. Did too. Did not. Jericho sends him in.
Oh!
Oh my! I thought for a minute he would get caught in.
How did Jericho cross the road to change his gimmick again?
And he almost got it again.
Oh, he almost got it.
These guys are getting some time.
Psychosis has a right.
Psychosis has come
It's so much time that this person's TV signal was getting fuzzy.
Becoming the champion. Into the corner.
Not a good place to be, maybe.
Oh boy, open hand slap. This is where Jericho did not want to be.
The VCR's getting tired, going to SLP mode.
Jericho just shrugged him off.
Look at that agility. Trying to walk up the ropes backwards sometimes.
Thrill Seeker drop kick. 1, 2, and he got him. There we go. Jericho retains the title he wouldn't win for 3 months. There we go. Runs right over to that guy in the overalls, who is now impressed.
He takes a little breather amongst the fans here at the Worldwide Arena.
Look, he's sitting with Uncle Joe from Hooterville.
Uncle Joe from Hooterville. All the days of my life. Somebody, he got busted open in another match at that taping. Alright, here's the matches we will not see, because this is the last thing we're watching tonight.
Contenders, so they think, the Steiner Brothers.
They are the #1 contenders. They'll be here. Prince Iaukea, former TV champ, will be with us next week.
Very agile man, and a very tough man.
Oh man, we're gonna miss Greg Valentine. That's a bummer. And La Parka. Maybe they wrestled each other.
Never know.
For the Brain and for Lee Marshall, I'm Tony Schiavone. See you next week on Worldwide.
Alright, so that'll do it for tonight. Thank you all so much for spending the last 2 hours and 15 minutes with me. Went a little long tonight. I'll be back next week, again 9 p.m. Tuesday night. I'm here pretty much every Tuesday, internet willing. Thank you all so much for giving me that time, hanging out with me. I love hanging out with you all on these Tuesdays. Or if you're watching on YouTube, if YouTube's like, hey, we'll actually let you upload this one. Join us on Tuesdays if you're watching this on VOD after the fact. But as I always like to close these shows out with on Tuesday nights, even if you don't make it here next Tuesday, just make it to next Tuesday. I'm asking. 7 days. It's right. Life sucks. Life is tough. Life is rough. Life is hard. But I think we can do 7 days. I'm gonna try my damnedest, and I hope you do too. My name's Tom. This is WCW Deep Cuts Live. Good night. I'm gonna go to bed. You better do so too.